All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. Straight Politicking, episode 4. And I'm sitting here with Munchie B, the mayor, and Spider Loke, the most easty. And we just had Father's Day last week. And all of us is fathers, so what y'all do?
Y'all gentlemen.
What y'all do over the Father's Day weekend?
Yeah, I did it. I worked for the majority of the day. However, I did see a portion of my children, heard from them all and their mothers. It was a low-key day. It wasn't nothing too extravagant.
All right, tell the people how many kids y'all got.
I have 6 represented on this sweatshirt right here. This is all my children's names. Curtis, Kermon, Curvell, Genesis, and Riley. And that's how and I have a granddaughter by the name of Winter.
And that's how you introduced them when you was on Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Oh,
this is a script to him, huh? He got
Yeah.
And that's the same way Pat Sajak reacted too. Shout out Pat.
So you got 6 kids. Almost all of them are Kerr except one.
2.
Oh, 2. Okay.
Yes, which kind of indicates the communication level with the mothers at the time of birth. They wasn't with it because I wanted all of them to have my initials in the first 3 letters, C-U-R, and then C and W. So all those that are C-U-R, they also have C and W as their initials, but not for the 2.
And you got a couple of kids yourself, Munchie B.
Yeah, I got 2 daughters, 8, and then one gonna be 18 this year, and then I claim my ex-wife's son as mine also. He been around me so long, even though I ain't with her no more. But I got 2 daughters though.
So you got a third basically.
Yeah.
You too though.
Got 3. Like, I'm glad you said that. I got 3 extra: Stevie, Ajane, and Derek. So yeah, I got a handful.
Now let me ask a baby mama question, because Munchie doesn't even get along with his first baby mama. He got 2 baby mamas.
Only claim one.
You only claim one.
I claim the kid, but not the mama.
Yeah, but I mean, you got the kid by her, so she's still a baby mama.
Right.
You got 4?
4.
4 baby mamas. How many of them are you cool with?
All 4.
Oh, that's cool.
God is good.
All right, so man, I be hearing these stories where dudes don't even talk to their baby mamas.
I don't acknowledge one, and then the second one, she a good girl. She go to work and go home, and she a good mom.
We've had our ups and downs, but we've never had longer than a couple of months of lack of communication just based on specific little scenarios. God has been good to me in that regard.
I met one of your baby mamas. She was so down because I was pulling up to the football game. There was nowhere to park. She was standing out there waiting for me so I can get in there and record. She jumped in my truck and I took it somewhere.
Yeah, she
and,
did
and
that.
came back to the stands. I was like, that was like chauffeur treatment.
Yeah, she get active.
That's right.
Oh, my mama.
Okay, and I got 3 kids, 2 sons, a daughter. My daughter just graduated from USC. I got one baby mama. And I've been with for, let's see now, married 24 years.
I'm about to say, that sound like a wife. I didn't know how much you wanted to divulge. Yeah.
Married 24 years, but we were together for several years before the marriage, so you could just say like 30 years. We got 30 years in, so.
Shout out to the queen.
So happy Father's Day, belated Father's Day to everybody. That was last week.
You beat the odds. You beat the odds. Being married, as long as you've been married.
Yes, admirable.
Hey, I had no choice but to beat the odds, because I made a decision out there on Gramercy one day saying, you know what, y'all mofos out here on this block are all gonna die or end up in prison, and I don't want that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up trying to get into USC, which I eventually did. I locked down on a chick, which I eventually did. I saw her at Venice Beach one day, and I said, that's the woman I want right there. If I get her, I am dropping everybody. And I got her. I didn't really drop everybody right away, but eventually I did drop everybody.
Look, it's funny you said that, right? Because, come with this is either hell or a sale, right? But this dude keep getting on the internet talking about, I be talking about how many people I named murdered and how many, all this little shit.
You have never said anything
Never
of the
said
sort.
that ever. If you could find something other than in a song, when I'm talking some Mozzie type vibe, when have I ever said on the internet that I did anything to unalive anybody or anything that this person keep with the little BS, and it seemed like he want me in jail.
See, that's a perfect example of defamation. claiming that Munchie has said something that he has never publicly said.
But what I have publicly said was don't subscribe to the streets because what's sort of irrational. It ain't fair. It ain't always gonna fall in your favor. Like I said before, Spotter might be way around the corner minding his business, but he go to jail for something I did, and he can't tell. You might get sat down in a chair for the rest of your life, paralyzed, which you can't tell on him. You might get shot like I did. It come with it. You know what you did, what you was working with before you signed up. But this particular person keep talking about, I was talking about all the bodies I caught, and you're not King Von and all this weird shit. I don't know what he talking about.
Yeah, it is bizarre putting all those words into your
I heard
mouth.
you had quite a few squabbles. That's about it.
Man, we don't, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even talk about
While incarcerated.
Hey, we do know this for a fact. Snoopy BadAzz is 0 for 7 out of 7 fades that we have documented, where we have witnesses, we got corroboration, we spoke to the people involved, we spoke to the people that were there. He's 0 for 7.
I said.
Okay.
0 for 7.
Okay. Out of the 4 phase, he got whooped on in the bathroom like he was in junior high. I believe Tiny West, Baby Black, Bully. I don't know who the 4th one was. And then let's move on to the east side of Bompton, the Hollies. Brickhead, Big Montana, slapped him. He did the victory slap like Nip did. Blapped him. And I believe what?
Wait, so what's that, 6?
Go to Rue. That's Go to Rue, rest in peace. Now, that's 6, but I don't know I can't remember who the 4th one was in the bathroom. But you know, I mean, I ain't never got on camera talking about who I slid on or whatever.
No, it seemed like those comments be reacting to the comments of others that they may have said or not said about someone such as yourself, and a reputation that may or may not be developed. And it seemed like he be reacting to them, mad at them, not that you said it. He don't even like to hear nobody else say it.
Right.
Haterism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a perfect
Defamation.
No, he ran through the 7. Except we're missing
TC.
We're missing one name. Actually, TC would be
No. We
number
just
8.
No. We talking about just homies that and slapped them.
No, but TC was part of your 7, wasn't
No, TC's not even part of the 7.
I named 3 out of 4 that was in the bathroom at Enterprise Park that spanked him like he was in junior high school, scrub day. And then it's 3 from Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Brickhead, Big Montana, Go to Rue, rest in peace, spanked you. And Guda was like 19, you was like 30-something. Like, but,
We got to add TC, so that makes it 0 for 8. That happened in the Riverside County Jail. The other 7 happened on the streets. And look, man, the more he opens up his mouth, the more people reach out to me to give me more information. So keep running your mouth, bro. All right, I got a fact check from last week. You asked the question, how can Donald Trump have a duel since he's convicted and he's not allowed to possess any weapons?
Or how could he be president and not be allowed to be around weapons?
Well, he could be around weapons, Secret Service and all that, but I guess technically he's not allowed to possess them because he's a convicted felon. And I said he could pardon himself and clean his record, but he cannot pardon a state case. He can only pardon federal cases. And that conviction he got in New York City was the Stormy Daniel hush money. It was a New York State case. So technically, he cannot pardon himself out of that state case. Only the governor of New York State can pardon him on that one. But the president can pardon themselves of all or do pardons on federal offenses. So if you got any homies out there that got federal cases, Donald Trump could pardon them. In fact, Freeway Ricky Ross one time asked me, this is when he was in prison, he asked me if I could figure out a way for him to get pardoned. And I was like, dude, I don't really have those connections, because one of his co-defendants, a guy named Carlos Vignali, a Mexican drug dealer that he was working with, Carlos got pardoned. So he was like, what? If Carlos can get pardoned, why don't I get pardoned?
Trump, he didn't get a pardon, but Trump turned the homie Corvain loose, though. This is something, you can either get a pardon or there's another legal term that he can grant you with
Clemency.
He received clemency on a life sentence for trafficking marijuana. He had got life, and he had did like 10 on Trump's way out. I think Corvain was a guest here on Facts Over Feelings.
Remind me. Wait.
Corvain Cooper and Trump. Oh no, he wasn't. I did that in. It wasn't here.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember my theory with the pardon thing with Trump that I discussed on Richard Hart? No,
remind us.
Okay. And they clown me in the comments, right? And I ain't a conspiracy theory, but it's my theory though. I mean, I'm not with conspiracy, but I was saying all the pardons that he did was Nipsey related. He pardoned Lil Wayne before he even touched the cell.
I remember that. Yeah.
Because that's Lauren London, other baby daddy. Pardon. What's my boy name that he doing better now? Kodak Black, and he said the disrespectful shit towards Lord London. And and then I said he didn't pardon, but I said I think he sent a boy to represent Eric Holder. You know what I'm saying? All of them is all related to Nipsey. That was just my theory. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You think he sent Christopher Darden originally?
Originally to represent Eric Holder, and that was my theory. You know what I'm saying?
Why did you get a pass?
Why did you get a pass with what?
From Trump.
He ain't got no legal trouble. Get a pass.
I don't know.
No. You didn't follow me.
I followed you.
All three of these people, all this is in spite of
the song, right?
F. Donald Trump.
That's why I say why you don't have a list of YG going through similar attacks from Trump.
But the people who could he attack? Who's like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to incriminate nobody, but I know some things that's been. It made the news. It made the news over there out the Escalade.
Oh, he had a truck or whatever. I don't know. That's just my theory, man. I don't know.
That Escalade case was crazy. Was that
crazy?
Bulletproof truck.
Yeah.
And then I think they drove under the airport space so that they can try to get away, but they all got caught.
Yeah, but it was like, in the process of that whole chase, it was like a real cracking, super cracking.
Munchie got quiet.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay. All right, let's get into, let's see here. I want to talk about Bishop Lamar Whitehead. This is a brother that was leading a congregation in Brooklyn, New York, wearing the most expensive clothes that you can find, coming to a church in the inner city where the people there are probably living at the poverty level and below. And he's just went through a series of events in the last couple of years that culminated to him getting a 9-year sentence, which he's going to start serving any day now, man. But this is nothing new to us. How many preachers, pastors, how many of, and Spider, this must hit you close to home because you grew up in this culture.
Mm-hmm.
How many of these Bishop Whiteheads are out there?
Well, in my particular denomination I was raised in, it was slightly less apparent when you had these type of ministers, because in the Seventh-day Adventist denomination, it's not like you open up a church, collect the offering, you go put your offering in the bank, and this is how you pay your bills and like that. When they take the tithe and offering in our church, we have something called a general conference, and the general conference receives all the funds, and the preacher is paid a salary. He knows what he's going to get each month like any other employee at any other corporation. So it's not like, oh, we took up $30,000 this week, now the preacher up this week. The money goes to the general conference. So you have to get real creative with finessing the funds in the Seventh-day Adventist church.
Yeah, I guess some churches it's easier than others.
A lot easier.
So you're basically saying they got more checks and balances to prevent these things from happening.
But there's still ways to get your hand in the cookie jar, but you just got to be a little more determined and a little more, have a little more finesse about yourself.
Okay, I want to remind the people of what the timeline of Bishop Lamar Whitehead. Let's play clip 1. This clip 1 is him getting robbed at his church during a live stream. Go ahead.
A Brooklyn bishop was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service was being live streamed this morning when he says 3 to 4 men walked in with guns. He spoke at length with CBS 2's Lisa Rosner about why he believes he was targeted and his message for the suspects.
5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamar Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you about to go through? Yo, all right. I seen 3 to 4 men come in. I said, all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right? I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe.
So this was 2022. This was 2 years ago. This is before his indictment. This is kind of what made him go viral. I had never heard of the dude until this robbery. A lot of people thought, hey, is that an inside job? Because did you notice the brother that was sitting behind him? He's in the chair and doesn't even move at all during the robbery.
I didn't peep that.
Maybe he was stuck. You know, somebody, they foot get glued to the ground, like, you know what I'm saying?
Now, he just looked like he was chilling.
Back in the day, I used to try to justify in my head hitting a church or a preacher because I said they not really living up to the real gospel and all that. When I was more inclined to take something from someone that didn't belong to me, I never did it, but that shit used to be way on me heavy because I just knew there was so much cash at certain places at certain times.
But what justifies a pastor having $2 million worth of jewelry?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I don't think God is like, yeah, go get some more jewelry. Go spend some more money on material things. And what makes church goers think that what he's doing right in front of their eyes is cool?
Some people don't know what they're looking at. People don't know that the value of what they looking at sometimes.
But it's reported dude had like 40 members, and at any given time, only like 15 would come to service. It's not even a mega church or nothing to substantiate no great wealth in that.
So the church basically a cover up.
Maybe so. Comedian D.L. Hughley had a response to the bishop after the robbery. Play the audio of clip number 2.
An ambush, which is cool. Let me tell y'all this, right? This bishop here, you will not walk over me. You will not villainize me. You will not disrespect me, right? So D.L. Hughley, right? Because I call him Napoleon. I guess he's short, right? And he has a Napoleon complex. All he did was just come at me with disrespectful tone, right? So like I told you on your syndicated radio station, we don't got to talk, right? You feel the way you feel about me. I don't feel no way about you. But listen, what I want to do, meet me in the ring, because y'all think y'all can walk over pastors. Let's set up a celebrity match, Bishop Whitehead and D.L. Hughley, because you run your mouth behind the mic. Y'all think that these preachers are punks behind the pulpit. When somebody try to make sense out of nonsense and you sit there and support the men that robbed me, listen, D.L. Hughley, let's meet in the ring, right? In the name of Jesus. And I hope you get this message because I'm about to post it. Let's meet in the ring whenever you want. Matter of fact, let's make it happen because you tough behind the mic. And I'm tough behind the pulpit. We got 2 tough guys that need to be in the ring, right? We're not going to fight. We're going to...
So what I meant to say, this was his response to D.L. Hughley, basically saying he wasn't buying what happened in that church and that this dude was, before he even got indicted, D.L. Hughley was saying, there's something wrong with this guy.
Hey, I'm not mad at what Pastor said. But he not go PC up when he go to jail. He not PCing up. No, for real.
You impressed because he talked tough on the microphone?
No. He willing to take that fade. But guess what? I haven't heard D.L. Hughley what he said, but I never disagree with no stance that D.L. Hughley ever had. Like that's somebody I could sit and listen to. D.L. Hughley.
Yeah.
Like I like his stance on a lot of things, but man, he all these pastors, bro, they human too.
D.L. Hughley knows something about churches. I know right there in Lefty Gun doing Avalon, they built that church selling that barbecue all them years. Y'all know about that church?
I done bought barbecue from there.
Oh, my mama. Yeah, they built that whole church off barbecue.
I used to be shoes getting sold out there too, the little shoe man. But D.L. Hughley, man, shit, don't get him twisted. He from Paul Road. He from One Trade 5. I don't think he go orchestrate a fade with him, but if you caught him in traffic, man, D.L. Hughley would roll his sleeves up, they'd be squabbling.
Well, the fade never happened between the two. And I guess everything that DL said, we don't have his clip, but basically he went in on him as a no good brother, and pretty much everything that DL said kind of materialized in real life, in real time.
Do we consider boxing matches catching a fade?
I've never considered that a fade.
Why not? Why not?
You take fades with your knuckles.
It's an organized fade.
You fade with your knuckles, though.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Shit. What's old boy name? They just knocked old boy out 2 days ago.
That was a boxing match. Shout out to Tank. Tank and Frank.
So what you saying? Fades is street shit.
They can happen in the house. They can happen in the church. They can happen in the grocery store.
So once it's in the ring, it's not considered a fade no more.
I mean, that sounds like it makes sense to me.
Oh, okay.
With protective gear.
Nah, all that headgear shit is stupid.
But gloves are protective as well. They protect you from knuckles.
Shit. Oh, boy's got his teeth knocked out with a mouthpiece in.
You missing the point,
What's
bro.
his name? The dude that be having meltdowns?
But you are aware that gloves are compiled of cushiony type material.
But you heard what I heard about old boy teeth coming out.
You missing the point, though.
Whose teeth came out?
The dude be having meltdowns, man. He from Cincinnati.
Oh, you talking about Adrian Broner?
His teeth came out. I'm like, how did she come out with a mouthpiece in?
Oh, in that last fight?
It happens.
In that last fight he lost?
And he walked away talking about he won.
Well, that was a fade. Yeah, I know he got money. He could get it fixed tomorrow, but, you know, I would have to say that was a fade.
Nah, fade for Bishop Whitehead would be somebody in his church having an argument and a disagreement with him, and then they just get to knuckling up right then and there. That's catching a fade right there.
So getting paid to box is not a fade, huh?
I ain't never looked at it that way.
We were just talking on, I don't even like the way.
We getting it ironed out now. The definition
YouTube,
of
though, that word fade and got so watered down. That should be sounding corny to me now. Just the fade. After YouTube commenters then made it they jargon.
Do you think it's Christian-like, Spider, for a bishop to call out for a fade?
None whatsoever.
Yeah, that's just...
Now, if the bishop was someone that trained and practiced in the boxing for fitness and sport, and then chose to engage just for sport, that's another thing. But because someone has held accusations at you and challenged your character, for then you to return with a challenge of violence is not godly at all.
Hey, look, I ain't real biblical or whatever. I just know a little bit, the bare minimum, but why is he considering himself a celebrity? Talking about a celebrity match.
Yeah, that threw me off too.
And they say, like, you know, God is a jealous God. You know what I'm saying? He come with all this celebrity-ish, you know what I'm saying? But that
caught my ear too. And Alex made the point that he didn't rise to any type of notoriety until he got robbed. You only have 40 members at your church, so it's not like you're like a celebrity preacher.
Well, I think it's a lot of what's his name, Whitehead,
Yeah.
Whiteheads and TD Jakes out there. They behind the scenes, they be doing it up and living a life.
Definitely.
So this happened in 2022, and I remember talking about this on an episode of Streets and Scholars with FG. Play clip number 3.
Shout out FG.
What do you think about this bishop? Bishop Lamar Whitehead from Brooklyn, New York, got robbed on his live while giving a sermon in his church, and he got robbed for him and his wife. His wife was sitting in the front. He got robbed for $1 million worth of jewelry. He's wearing $1 million worth of jewelry giving a sermon.
Right.
What is that all about?
You know what it's all about. You know what I mean? You know, and I could talk to more shit about it because, you know, a lot of this stuff is propaganda, even in the religious, field too. You know, he's sitting up there, you know, you balling, you know, off the faith of other people, you know, got them paying their tithes, you know, wishing them well, going to the hospital, praying for their speedy recovery. But you over here, man, racking up the bread. Not to mention, I mean, if you was making investments, nobody would talk about you. If you was on some apartment buildings, and which he may still do, but man, you out here with $1 million worth of jewelry on, driving fancy cars, and you know,
Rolls Royce.
I think it's a slap in the face to the members of the church.
Yeah, man. Let me see. I got a clip here. You know, dude is a hustler. He's a hustler, no doubt about it. He did some time in prison, so he's not new to the streets. Let me play this clip here.
Let's see here. Let me see if this is it right.
Told you ain't piecing up.
Is robbed of more than $1
All right, that's
million
cool.
in jewelry.
He
And
probably told niggas he was coming out here to look like this.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I told you he wasn't PCing
Yeah.
up. But guess what? He's somewhat of a street dude. And that, all right. He knew that was coming for him. And he was like, he knew it was coming.
He already did 5 years in prison
Aw, man.
previously for some other, I don't know, some fraud or something he did.
This is ballpark.
It's probably another reason why he got that 9. He got priors.
Yeah, he definitely has priors. He's from the streets. He's been to prison before. I'm all for a brother changing, coming home, uplifting your community, making a 180. But dude got out and just continued whatever he was doing. Now he's about to go back to prison for 9 years for hustling the church for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm confused.
Any particulars?
What's that?
Because we watched him go. He got robbed, and now he going to jail for 9 years. What happened in between?
Yeah, is it living above your means? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the robbery was a separate incident. I do believe the robbery. My opinion now, the robbery was probably real. Some people thought it was an inside job. None of the dudes that were involved in the robbery ever came out and said, "Oh no, it was a fake thing."
Isn't one of them dead?
And one of the dudes got shot and killed by the police in a standoff somewhere. So, and that guy's name is Shamar Leggett, 41-year-old dude that was, and that dude had just got out of prison for doing 10 years on an attempted murder from 2012. So that dude was fresh out of prison when he robbed Bishop Lamar Whitehead.
Do we know if he happened to spend time in the prison that Whitehead came from?
Hey,
it might have been a
I
setup.
told you, he might know them dudes that he knew what that was coming
Oh,
from.
my mama.
I know, cause explain why is it okay to set yourself up to get robbed for $1 million worth of jewelry?
Insurance
Lick.
Yeah, insurance.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? You got paperwork on your jewelry.
And then you get the jewelry right back, or you buy it back for a discount.
Go sell it on the black market, either or.
All right, play the last clip of what eventually happened to Lamar.
They call him the Bling Bishop, a preacher from Brooklyn who will soon be swapping in his designer suits for prison garb. Lamar Whitehead, convicted today on charges he defrauded a parishioner when she gave him $90,000 from her savings. The case also involved claims he tried to get a $500,000 loan in return for access to Mayor Adams. Whitehead previously found himself in the spotlight after thieves robbed him at gunpoint during a live-streamed sermon.
Okay. So you guys believe that robbery possibly could have still been staged?
No, I think it's the real deal, and I think it's the perfect place and time to do it, because you know where you're gonna be at.
And the perfect person to do it, because this is his thing.
Yeah.
I know from the back end too. I know that some preachers, they be having armed deacons in there. So for them to just, I guess everybody wouldn't assume that, but I don't rule out the possibility of the inside job at all.
Yeah, well, he's lucky that they never linked that in his current charges, but it doesn't matter. He's about to do 9 years in prison. And what's the chances of him getting out and then going back to becoming a pastor, or is it's done this time?
Not at all.
Yeah.
The whole concept of the ministry is forgiveness. It's all, everything can be forgiven.
But I don't understand how a congregation could even accept this dude with this track record, and then he's doing it in front of them. He's wearing $5,000 suits in front of them.
This is they gave Eddie Long a pass. They give these passes constantly in the congregations, bro. This is the hypnotizing that religion does to our people that I don't agree with whatsoever.
Well, this is probably part of the false prophets and false religion that the scriptures talk about, which is probably 90% of the churches on earth.
I refuse to go any further with this with you, because you know what will happen.
Hey, man, we go deep on religion.
Yeah, we'll go a whole left turn.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Bishop Lamar Whitehead sentenced to 9 years, and this will be his second bid. Let's talk about your boy Bricc Baby, man. What has Bricc Baby done lately that is on your radar?
Man, I sent a couple of clips to the production, man. These are the type of things that Bricc Baby has done constantly, consistently, and continuously online for the last few years that I choose to ignore or not comment on or make content about based on him being my homeboy, my loved one. Someone, if I did see something that I was not quite fond of or didn't approve of or didn't think it was in good taste, I will always take the opportunity to tap in on the back line and reach out to him and maybe communicate some good game that way. And I would just, same way I treat Munchie, you, or anyone else I consider myself a comrade of. However, we all aware recently he's been quite comfortable speaking about things that we could consider negative about myself online. And when I tried to reach out and establish an understanding on those things, he doubled down on his position. And I, right here on Straight Politicking Podcast last week, I spoke to him and I accepted his position. So now I just feel more comfortable reacting to some of the things I see online that I would feel I would normally call him about, or I would take a note mental and say, that ain't cool, but I ain't gonna speak it on the line because that's a homie. And recently we got 2 clips, man. He just was really, really like came out of character, I believe.
All right, before we play any of the clips, I guess your disagreement with Bricc started from the interview that you and him did with Bro from Trouble, right?
Shout out Face, G-Face, yeah. Yeah, he felt comfortable sitting in front of the camera and just being comfortable discussing my appearance on the thing in a negative manner.
You're talking about when he was on Sharp's show late at night talking about it, and when you called in?
No, he had already talked about it when he was naked with Adam and Lush.
Okay.
Another behavior that I would have probably never mentioned.
Okay, but
these niggas naked to the nipples,
so that's
sitting around.
No, that's considered naked, having your shirt off.
I mean, bro, sitting around with a male porn star who recently did a very rainbow rendition of April Fool's joke.
Okay.
And then another Caucasian. No, he's Caucasian.
Oh, for real?
Lush is Caucasian as well.
Okay.
And, another thing I would have never spoken on. I don't approve of how Bricc Baby allowed Adam to sex play him. They are very sexual one with another. But I don't speak about it online until this moment. But they sitting there naked, nipples out, and I don't even. And then Adam was talking about some YouTube comments being the worst he ever saw, and Bricc kind of bit the bait just to go on and agree with how my performance was just something to be frowned upon.
But he also balanced that with saying that you are a dope podcaster.
See. Not to have to go and explain to a lot, those comments was motivated about me speaking to him offline before about the first time when the shows got canceled, and he took it upon himself to mention my name in relation to the shows getting canceled, and he was on Sharp's show at that time too, and Cuz said something to the effect of, if Wack got a problem with Spider, I agree. If Adam, I would have canceled the show too.
Hold on, if Wack got a problem with Spider, I agree. Adam, you should cancel the show too.
Yeah, he said if I ain't speaking for myself, but I'm gonna speak for the white boy. If I was the white boy and I'm trying to do this, that, and Wack is causing problems and confusion with Spider, I understand. I would cancel the show too. So I called him about that.
I ain't catch that.
Yeah, he didn't even readily receive that when I spoke to him about that. We had to go through some back and forth. He kept suggesting that I was mad. I had to keep reminding him I'm not upset at all. I'm just trying to speak to you about something that's factual that I didn't appreciate, that I think should have went different, and perhaps in the future it should go different if presented with a similar situation. And we, I guess, got into an understanding about it. But then I believe that's why he went on to make the positive commentary about the show at the end after he had already stepped into. This is my thing. You can't tell me nothing bad about none of my homeboys, especially not on no camera. Period. Especially if it's not something that they done to violate principles or integrity or things of that nature.
Now, what about just critiquing podcasting? That's not really saying something bad about you.
I mean, okay, I just have refrained from critiquing his podcasting because, like he mentioned there, I called him when I thought he was inappropriate because of his intoxication level and what I saw other bloggers doing to clown him.
Offline, you did that.
Offline. Yeah. I called out of concern. I don't get on camera and address anything that I see my homeboy doing that can be improved initially, I holler at my homeboy.
But Adam did bring up the topic. It wasn't like Bricc brought it up. Adam brought it up, and it was...
See, that's the whole problem. When you allow white men to start dictating how you communicate with or about your homeboys, then you have an issue.
But do you think that your performance on that episode, they had to talk about it. They weren't going to ignore it. So what do you expect Bricc to do in that position when Adam says, hey, this one didn't go as planned?
What did Munchie do when I mentioned YG?
He kept quiet. Hey, man, Spider always got to come back answer. He always got to respond.
Just reality, the way homies push is the way homies push.
Hey, and if you guys are just tapping in on this episode right now, rewind it about 10, 15 minutes. And when we brought up YG, Munchie just respectfully got quiet.
Hey, but no, but some things it be kind of hard to ignore. Like when YG did the video, and him and Tiger wasn't doing the masculine thing in the video. Was wearing whatever they was wearing. Oh, okay, all right. Because people in the DM me was like they wanted to interview me and get my input on it. I declined.
Yeah. So Spider, you was expecting this type of respect that Munchie gives to YG from Bricc Baby to you.
Yeah, but before I made a negative reaction, which I've yet to do and I refuse to do to this point, I spoke to the homegirl, and what she told me was, you expecting you out of other people. So that's when I rationalized to myself is just because I move like that, I can't expect that out the next person. But I don't think I any longer owe that to the next person either, because he just said something as big as YG and Tiger doing that video where they were feminized themselves for an excuse. They had a reason. He had to speak on that. When it come to Bricc Baby, when he sat down with the gay crib from Texas, I didn't speak on that. That's just as big as what he's talking about. As a matter of fact, myself and Rick Rock had just squashed an age-old misunderstanding. We had a fresh, new friendship, I would call it. And because he went at Bricc Baby at that time, I blew all that up, and we had to go through the whole bush again to mend it. In my defense of Bricc Baby doing something that everybody agreed was off base.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a problem interviewing somebody that's gay?
I wouldn't right now sign up just for the gay interview, no. Now, okay. I won't say that I'm above finding myself in a conversation on camera with a homosexual, but right now, just gay interview, just off top, that's not what I'm into, no.
Now what's I don't know, I don't remember this name, the gay
Tony Rearage.
Or him. I wouldn't have interviewed him about nothing gang related. You know what I'm saying? If he was like a Jason Lee or like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind interviewing him.
But you can have a conversation with Jason Lee about so many things, and his homosexuality doesn't even come up.
But he got something going. Like,
this dude's running for city.
My point is, at the time, everybody else was against Bricc. I stood in the gap and offered a perspective similar to what we saying now. It ain't that bad. I've always spoken on when Bricc name was on it, when DW Flame, the whole cigarette thing. Everybody was on his head. Me, it ain't that bad. When Spody Face and 4 Extras went up to No Jumper trying to press him, a lot of people say he didn't react correctly. I never voiced my opinion on anything that can cause Bricc Baby to be anything seen other than the best of lights. That's my point.
Okay, so we're just saying there have been a handful of Bricc Baby incidences, a plethora that you could have spoke on.
What?
On your platform or this platform.
All the crash outs. I don't approve of his behavior on all these theatrics with all these emotional rants that he goes through. I don't speak on none of that.
So basically the level of loyalty that you have on the mic regarding him is not being reciprocated
whatsoever.
In your opinion.
Whatsoever.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, because I heard Bricc Baby speak when Adam was asking him. I personally didn't really think he talk down on you.
It didn't sound that bad to me.
Yeah, it didn't sound that bad. And then he balanced it with saying, that's my bro. That's my big bro. I look up to him, you know. So it wasn't like the
dude highlighted me handshaking another Crip hand. And he was offended by the handshake that the Crip wasn't even offended by. All this stuff is stuff that was unnecessary to speak on to the public.
Okay, so when Bricc Baby called in on the last episode of Straight Politicking, episode number 3, I thought all you guys have all mended up everything out at that point. Okay.
However, he's been up to some goofy shit though. So
since that call.
Yes.
Okay, since that call. All right. What's the first clip you want?
So you saying you basically reciprocating energy?
No, I'm just gonna meet niggas where they meet me. Why would I try to uphold some type of level of commitment to an individual that is obviously comfortable throwing that out when it comes to me in the public? He's spoken on it since then and said I was in my feelings about it. I'm totally not in my feelings.
Okay, before we go to the clip, but could we agree sometimes the elephant in the room do gotta be discussed? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or
I'm not into. I don't have this public group agreement with all people on cameras doing podcasts. So when I got a homie, the way I get out with my homie is how I get out with my homie. And I'm not gonna run it by Alex, Munchie, Adam, or nobody to make sure they approve of how me.
No. How you get out with your?
That's the only thing I'm addressing.
No. I'm saying like as media go, like content, like sometimes some got to get addressed, because this exactly what went wrong with T-Rail and his brother. He was like, all right, it's over now, because AD is his boy. They on the same team. He touched on it just a little bit, just to say he, you know what I'm saying, covered it. Then he wanted to back up, but Big Deal kept going with it. And T-Rail wasn't feeling it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the issue here with Spider is not that the topic came up, because the topic was unavoidable. It was Bricc Baby's response to the topic. And I probably would have left the handshaking part out of it, because that's some street stuff that didn't even be mentioned. I would have just said, look, Spider was on one that day. We all know that when Spider's on his A game, he's on his A game. We can't just, we're not going to judge his podcasting on one episode. Next question.
I done heard Bricc Baby sit there and say, we all got gay moments. We all gay at times. I don't approve of none of that, but I could have been going viral reacting to all these clips. I ignore all that shit. I don't think that's good podcasting for a crip, to be on the camera talking about he gay at times.
All right, you brought two clips. One is called the twerk clip. One is the commentary clip.
Yeah, he talks on one, he twerks on one.
Which one do you want to play first?
We could watch him twerk first.
All right, go ahead and play that one.
I'm recording you so people can
if
know
it's the brick and not the trick, cuz please explain what this is, Brick. Please. And don't be late, cuz. Hurry up. What the
Like, do that shit in prison. I guarantee you, blood, you do that shit in Dank Road, by the time it's yard recall, blood, he's sleeping in my cell tonight. It's my cousin. Like, nigga, how you moving in the cell, nigga, by next week, nigga, this my cousin.
This
look out for him. This my relative from the street. It's my cousin. I'm from moving in the cell with me so I can look out for him.
He ain't told no lie.
Hey, Bosco retarded.
Okay,
he ain't told no lie.
All right, so let's just be clear what we just saw, because that Brick's face wasn't in the video, but
I think it was him in the pink shorts.
He was wearing the pink.
And I'm not putting this in there as fact. Allegedly, the person he was twerking for, on, or in front of was a person that was born a male, but presents as a female as well.
The transmissions.
That's your opinion.
No.
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard.
I can't confirm it, but that's what's
captions
been
say
reported.
on there. But
But then you see how comfortable he is with Adam. He says we all have gay moments. Adam plays like that with trans. So I don't know how far that would be from Brick. It's like he's having fun. I don't know no Crips that would go in the camera, turn their booty around and twerk, period.
No, the person said they told him he recorded. He said he didn't care.
He didn't care. So, these type of things, hey Brick, get it together, homie.
Yeah. And what did you think of Bosco's response to that?
Bosco burnt.
Hey, he ain't tell nan lie.
Don't give him an opportunity, go take it.
You come on the yard banging hard, neighborhood this, neighborhood that, and then an hour later or a week later, you see you doing that, yeah, you're gonna get a whole nother, you're gonna attract a whole nother type of attention.
All right, play the second clip.
On the dead homies, the only reason that I've been stalling you because you already know my brother love you, my big brother love you. But on the hood, the way you was acting like you wanted to play ball, oh, sick, so you know what it is. You thought because I had them Hoochie Mama shorts on it wasn't cracking up. I'm like, hey, look at that boy with the Daisy Duke song.
Oh, my mama.
I have no idea what the heck he's talking about. Hoochie Mama, is he talking about the clip we just watched?
They got these shorts, bro. They call Hoochie Daddy shorts. That stop like above the knee or whatever, And I mean, some of these dudes weird. I choose not to. And then even if I wanted to, the name throw me off. You know what I'm saying? What they call it, but you know what I'm saying? But
with that being said,
talking about them type of shorts.
The Hoochie Daddy shorts, they're not even the most popular amongst street niggas, right? Because like what you just said, even though the new generation, that's Hoochie Daddy. This nigga said Hoochie Mama. So is he just calling the Hoochie Daddy shorts Hoochie Mama shorts, or did he have on a different type of shorts? And why would he call anything that he had on Hoochie Mama?
Yeah, niggas is wearing the Hoochie Daddy shorts though, but I won't.
This type of shit I would have overlooked for the homie. But now I need an explanation, Bricc. What's up with the Hoochie Mama shorts and the twerking, cuz? How's that crippin', homie? Please explain yourself. You usually say, oh, I'm at a podcast, it's my job, professional. That twerking, you was somewhere private, bro. And at that live, you wasn't at your job either, bro. Damn. Explain yourself, Crip.
Spider's going in right now.
Am I going in?
A little bit.
Wow. So tell me a more appropriate reaction to seeing a Crip twerk and claim to have on Hoochie Mama shorts.
I probably wouldn't even react to it.
Like I usually do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Oh, my mama. Yeah. I normally wouldn't.
So you having a completely different feeling about Bricc Baby from last week when you called in?
It's not about a feeling. It's about a fact and factual understanding that Cuz has a different rapport with me than I've had established with him. And we established over a long period of time. So at this point, it's like, damn, what I'm gonna keep ignoring the goofy shit for? If Cuz gonna have to take the first opportunity he can to point out something about me that seems to be imperfect or that needs improvement, I could have been suggesting a whole lot of areas where he may need some improvement, so we could just keep it equal.
Now, what was the disagreement that you guys had on that phone call during Sharp's late night show where he was saying you asked him if you could go on the interview, and you're saying no, you asked me to be on the interview?
That was the disagreement.
Oh, my mama, I asked the homegirl, Cuz, you remember? She conferred. She was right there. I ain't asked that to do no interview.
So he told you to kick back and stay after we was shooting with the baddies our last day. Well, bottom line, after I left, he asked you to stay and join.
As we was walking out, the most I may have done was inquire what he was finna do. And as he was telling me what he do, he invited me. This is what the homegirl reminded me happened. He invited me, said, "Why, you want to help? You want to join?" I said, "Cuz, I'm not finna ask no the whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop." He was like, "Cuz, you ain't gotta ask. Come on, cuz, do the interview." She told me, that's how she reminded me it took place.
That was a huge disagreement that you guys had on the phone.
Then, cuz, I ain't never reacted to the fact he hung up on me and all that. Then he said, when your name came up, I just ain't gonna say nothing. I heard all that, you feel me? But I wasn't tripping. I was just trying to, I didn't know I was on live initially. I was just
you know you did, because he said I'm on live, you said I don't care.
I said initially.
Oh, okay. I'm like, damn.
But he gave you a heads up to say, we're on live.
Yeah, but I was trying to finish my statement. I said initially.
Okay. Now, when he told you was on live, why did you choose to continue the conversation?
Because I don't have no shame in nothing I was saying. And I already got caught speaking on live at this point. I'm not about to say nothing that's going to be embarrassing toward myself. I'm only addressing what had taken place publicly anyway.
So it seems as if your relationship with Bricc Baby has kind of come to a fork in the road.
No, it's just that I have realized it's not quite what I thought it was. That's all.
Y'all gonna fix that.
It's easy, it's small shit. It's crazy. All I'm doing is laughing at his online performance and having fun with my co-host. They don't seem to be having much fun as he was having with his when they were laughing at my performance. It's just having a fun moment.
Now, what do you think is going on with him and DW? Because they started off real tight, and that seems to have taken a turn for the worse.
That wasn't gonna last anyway. Because,
you already knew that.
Yeah, because DW and they loyalty is to what? And every chance you get. Well, nah, it's more so the other way around. But they don't rock with each other. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Bricc Baby fall from the Big U tree and he look up to Big U and he following suit with Big U and oh boy hate him. It wasn't gonna end well. You can't be partial with these two people.
Well, they started off. They had a nice run on the episodes that they started recording a few months back. They seemed like they had some good chemistry, and they put out some good content. I guess in the last month or so, just something changed.
you know, it's hard to speak on or even be concerned about what goes on personally between two grown men that you really don't know nothing about. I don't know what all can be, you know, going on between them two dudes.
All right, final thoughts on this twerking, and I don't know what do we call that? Like
there is my final thought on it. There is no circumstances, situation, scenario where twerking or claiming to or actually wearing hoochie mama shorts is cool for a crib.
All right, let me ask you this, because
that's a violation of presentation. So you need to correct your image, Bricc. That wasn't cool.
Now
the shorts is pink.
Look,
I think they was pink with stars on them.
In the 80s, there was a dance called the freak, and it's basically you grinding with your girl. You grinding on the dance floor. I remember I grew up seeing that. My little brother grew up on the East Coast. I remember he came out here to visit one day. We went to a party, and he's seeing the freak. And my brother was like, why they doing that? That look gay.
On a female?
When a guy's grinding, you know, with a female. And because sometimes the female might be behind you, too.
No. Get right here.
Yeah.
Get in front of me.
But my brother thought that the freak and the grinding on the dance floor was feminine.
Are you saying that to say you can envision a masculine twerk?
I'm saying that in the 80s, that was a dance floor that gangsters did, that everybody did, that every grown man did on the for a decade.
I'm going to say this, gangsters don't twerk.
Yeah, and the freak was not about shaking your booty. It was more about
freaking
gyrating your pelvis up to a female.
Yeah.
That's a whole difference.
Gyrating your
This
pelvis.
dude was bent over, buttocks.
But what if that was a female? Oh, actually, you said you don't believe it was a female holding the camera.
Well, I was told, from the caption, it says that it was a mixture.
Okay, let's say that is a female. Or let's say that's his wife. Do you look at it differently?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hey, the thing gonna make it look bad if you play with your wife that the shorts, which I don't, of course I don't, is pink.
You establish yourself as a public image or the face of, or you're carrying a certain flag, your behavior is going to be called into question. Twerking is not cripping, homie. I don't care how you look at it, especially not bent over on camera laughing and giggling, and neither is hoochie mama shorts.
Why you keep saying cripping? It ain't managed.
It's not managed, but I'm speaking for what a person professes more so. He don't more so profess to be a man. He professes to be a crip more so. So I'm speaking toward more of his image.
Now, during the 80s, when you had artists like Rick James, Prince, they would do this gyrating and grinding. Sometimes they get on the floor and hump the floor. Do you look at that as kind of feminine, or that's just some manly dance performance?
I think it's...
Because I used to think Prince was gay, but as I grew up, I realized Prince wasn't gay.
We don't know if he was
gay. We never, no one really knows, right?
Yeah, he was so sexual.
But you asking about the act, like particularly the act. Like
I used to think that Rick James and Prince and a couple other artists that I can't remember, they would do these movements that I would think as gay. As a teenager, I'm thinking as gay.
I even seen Tookie do some shit on a show one time, and he kind of popped his hip a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the Gong Show.
Yeah, so, yeah, I've seen older dudes.
Yeah, he popped his hip. You damn right.
But he used to have fellow Crips oiling him down. I don't want no man touching my back or oiling me down. You know what I'm saying?
But I got some G homies, when they get turned up, they dance moves. Some of them is moves I wouldn't make even if I could. I can't dance. My body don't make moves. But I know some older niggas that dance in ways that I wouldn't move.
I'll be in a function all behind bras on B team. I'll be getting what?
I think Spider's rules on this is probably more strict than others.
Well, you opened up a whole new can of worms when you talked about the 80s and just different dance moves outside of the popular dance move known as the twerk. That's a specific popular move right now that only women do.
What about when Spike Lee had that song out, doing the butt, hey, and everybody was shaking.
What's the next word?
Men and women.
What's the next word?
Let me see. Doing the butt.
Hey.
Sexy.
They talking to her.
But guys were shaking their butt, though.
Yo bad?
He talking to the bras, though. Was Spike Lee shaking his butt?
The men were shaking their butt for the girl, though.
But the song wasn't for them. Why they pull an interception like they Deion Sanders or something? So I think Spike Lee, that was for the bras.
Alex is doing his best to save you, bro. You better appreciate this, bro.
I don't agree with the twerk thing, right?
course you can't, man.
Hell no. Or the color of the shorts. But what I could say, when he was talking to Adam, I don't think it is bad as you perceived it, but I ain't the one perceiving it. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I didn't really ask how nobody else thought about my position.
But you gonna hear it, because I've
already heard it.
I've heard Camera, iHeart,
yeah,
Spotify.
I hear it.
So everybody go get their opinions back. That's just how I go. You know what I'm saying? But
I wasn't really speaking on no opinion, though. I was just talking about a personal experience that I experienced with an individual, one dude, me and him.
I know, but I just telling you what I felt, because not only me, all the platforms we on and the viewers, they go say yay or nay. And that, I mean, that's just us sitting in the chair giving, you know what I'm saying? It's going to happen like that.
No, actually, I was responding, and I'm just explaining this to why now I feel comfortable giving commentary on one specific individual.
Right.
It's based on the way they spoke. Yeah, the way they spoke about me.
Mm-hmm. Mishandled you.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely feel. I definitely would call it mishandled.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Lefty Gunplay. He was on a pod.
Your boy?
Yeah, that is Munchie's boy.
Yeah.
In fact,
Lefty.
during this interview where Lefty Gunplay made the controversial statement that we'll play in a second, he shouted out Munchie B. I think he shouted out Mariah. Did I get that right? And Rich at Heart, StreetTV.
My best friend is black.
Well, hey, he's got more than just saying my best friend is black. He's been to juvenile hall with a bunch of Crips. He's been in prison with a bunch of black gangsters.
He said Job 5 the reason why
he do rap collabs with brothers. How many Mexicans can say all of that?
Man, none of that shit impressed me after what I heard.
Oh, okay. Well, let's play the clip of Lefty Gunplay on this podcast making a controversy.
You know what I'm saying? For me to go and have a baby with a black girl, and and I've never been with a black girl, but I flirted with black girls, and shout out to the black, there's some beautiful black girls, but it's different. And just LA makes you like that, and you can't sugarcoat it and beat around the bush. I don't say the N-word in none of my songs. You will never find a Lefty Gunplay song where I'm saying the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Munchie B and Mariah and them in their podcast, man, on StreetTV. I was watching it earlier 4 hours ago. They're like, man, we appreciate Lefty not saying the N-word. Does it slip out sometimes with the homies? Yeah, because the homies talk like that all day.
All right. I think the very beginning of the clip is where he said he couldn't. What was it?
You need to play that. We don't have that part ready. That's the part.
Play the very beginning of it again, and then we'll stop it.
You know what I'm saying? For me to go and have a baby with a black girl, and and I've never been with a black girl.
All right, that's it.
He had expounded on that though.
Yeah,
it was like more said, but go ahead.
Well, I think that what Lefty Gunplay said is probably what a whole lot of people that are not black think. They just don't say it.
And what's your point?
No, I want to hear Spider though.
Is it as controversial as people say it?
The fact that we're not actually hearing it is kind of hard to react to how controversial.
Because I don't think you went back enough.
He said a lot more than that, bro.
He like
he I heard, around.
All right, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna drop the full clip right now.
Man, LA dog, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. LA's racist. It's crazy, dog. Like race is a big thing. Like honestly, me myself personally, I'm not gonna come home or I'm not gonna let my daughter come home with a black dude. I'm gonna be like, what the f? You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is out here for my people. And like, I'm sure if a black girl came home and with a straight SA dude, they're gonna be like, what the f? You know what I'm saying? In LA, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? For me to go and have a baby with a black girl, and and I've never been with a black girl.
All right, now we got the full clip in. Go ahead, Spider.
I believe, like you said, he may be speaking from the thoughts of a lot of people, but I don't think it justifies the thoughts. I think he spoke something that may be considered secretive to some degree, but it doesn't make me appreciate the sentiments that they actually are that way. I think some of the most beautiful people we see are mixed black and brown. And I think it takes place a lot more often and commonly than for it to be just accepted as like, oh, it's just like that over here. That's not necessarily true whatsoever.
So his position is he would be against his daughter hooking up with a black person for whatever reason.
Stay up out my podcast if you feel that way.
Damn.
I'm just saying, why would you have this comfort to be benefiting from a black-built platform genre music, but then you have this innate feeling that you don't want your most closest, your child, to be intertwined with these people that you say you have so much respect and love for. To me, it makes zero sense.
Hey, the way Spider puts it, I feel it. I feel where you're coming from. I actually feel both sides, to keep it real. I feel like people got preferences.
Definitely.
I feel that all groups say this. How many black folks do we know say, I don't want you dating no white people.
Right.
I don't want you bringing home no white girlfriend or no white boyfriend.
Exactly.
You know, how many of our black parents have said that to the kids?
Yeah, grandmas and mamas don't bring no white. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But
it said. I think his delivery was just wrong on that. You know what I'm saying?
He tried to flip it.
And then what I disagree with, he said L.A. will make you. You know, L.A. is racial, but nah, that's where you stay at, because you got in the Jordan Downs, the Watts Vadio grapes and the grape streets that blend well. And they got baby mamas as Mexicans and all that.
All of Watts blends well, black and brown.
Okay, and then Mariah, you know what I'm saying? Mariah dad, he beats him. Her mom is full blown Mexican. So it ain't an LA thing that's racial. Maybe the jail, maybe you still in what is it? When you in jail and you institutionalized, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's racial at, behind on walls, but or it just might be like that in Baldwin Park.
I think that in communities that Lefty Gunplay is from, those type of communities that are like 90% Mexican,
right?
You know, 85% Mexican, and everybody else is the 10%. You might have those opinions more prevalent. You go to someone like Watts, where, you know, 30-40% black, you know, 30-40% Mexican. There's a balance. So one side doesn't dominate the other side.
He also misspoke, because he said how his culture feels. Then he tried to reverse it and said, I know if a black, if you come in with a Mexican girl, your people gonna say the same thing, and our people don't react like that.
No, black folks don't trip.
Open arms welcoming. You come in with a Spanish chick, they gonna say, hey, how your name? Nice to meet you. Sit down. That's our people.
But the grandmothers and the grandfathers might say something, though.
It's all in how you raise, right? Because if you go back to the Lefty Gunplay interview on Richard Hart, he said if he came home with a black girl, that's how his family will react to him. And so he said that, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with what he said. I think it's how he delivered it. And some of our grandparents do. Then you walk in with a Mexican or a white boy, be like, you know what I'm saying?
That doesn't describe our culture like he says it describes his. Some, yes. But he's letting us know that that's how it is across the board for the majority of them. And it's not like that for us.
But guess what? Black people just more accepting in anything. We accept them with the gang culture, because we got Mexicans and white boys in our gangs. With hip hop, you know what I'm saying? You got the G-Eazy's, Bubba Sparks, Machine Gun Kelly's, Eminem's,
the Lefty Gunplays,
and like we just more accepting. Even if I'm saying, if I came home with a Mexican girl, my mama ain't go. She's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But
that's like, the majority of black people.
That's black. That's what I'm saying. Our that's how we. But
he stated opposite. He said in his statement that they're like that, and then he flipped it around and said, and I know if we come to your house, your people react the same way. And I was going to clarify, it's not equal like that.
But I think he should speak for the SGV, or he should just say that's how it is behind the walls, because we got the 20 Bloods that intermingle with the Harpies, and you got certain communities, bro, like we raised with Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? And then it happens like that.
I got a song about this. It's crazy. I'm sending it to you, Alex, for you to reference.
Do you believe that the 8 years that Lefty did in prison, you know, living by those Southsider politics, influences his answers on this topic?
Right,
perhaps.
Right. I think.
And he's young. He's only like 27. So you did a majority of his adult life was under Southsider politics for 8 years.
But see, like growing up, when I used to hear like people like, man, they didn't like Mexicans, I couldn't relate. I didn't understand what they was talking about until I got to the county jail. Like through juvenile hall and camp, like a black person might get jumped by a Mexican, or Mexican and a black together if they got the same op. So but then you get to the county jail level. I've been hearing I hear the NHP homies or the BPS homies saying they don't like Mexicans, but we never really had no continuous feuds with Hispanics. But when I got to I kind of seen what people was talking about when I got to the county. So I think he just spent majority of his adulthood locked up, and and he kind of like, you know what I'm saying, conditioned.
Has there been a response from the backlash that he's received from Lefty?
He apologized, and some people say, if you feel that way, why you apologize? But I think that was the industry thing to do.
I think it's a problem generally when the black man as a concept, when the women from other culture are attracted to him, I think the men by and large be having issues. I don't think it's just, I think we went through this with the Caucasian man. I don't think many cultures like to see their women off with a black man. Love you long time. I think we damage their insides too much.
And the problem, I shouldn't say the problem, but the black man, the black man is desired by every female in every race.
There we go.
and the men in those races or ethnicities might feel a little. They might feel a certain kind of way about knowing there's a percentage of women in their culture or in their race that like black men.
Look at Adam Deuce with all the access he has to the world. His wife, she wanted some black meat.
I don't think he said nothing wrong. He delivered that wrong, man. He ain't no wordsmith or anything. You know what I'm saying? He could have delivered that better. And I think some of our people say the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I saw a video where it said that they're trying to cancel, quote unquote, Lefty Gunplay. I don't know if it's a cancelable offense, but I could understand people like the way Spider's obviously offended by it.
I'm not necessarily offended. I just don't feel like it's appropriate for the current climate of society speaking in public. If that's the case, then you should be able to have the white man saying white power, my daughter ain't fucking on and all that too. It's all equal.
They do say that.
It's not socially acceptable, bro.
Well, my issue
on public platform speaking that way.
My issue with what Lefty said is that his perspective is from San Gabriel Valley.
Right.
It is not from South LA. It's not from the East Side. It's not from the West Side of LA. It's not from Watts or Compton, where Black-Mexican relations are different from community to community. And for him to speak on it, he should be specific to the SGV, which is probably like 3% Black in the SGV.
Right.
Something really small. Where over here, Blacks is 10, 15%, in certain neighborhoods, 20, 30%. Yeah, something that you never see in the SGV.
You got Hispanic hoods and Black hoods that share the same hood, overlap each other.
I think even a bigger lesson is that don't sleep. I don't know if he was loaded, if he didn't plan to express that much, but don't sleep on what they think. Hear what they think about you. It's what they think about you.
And we got a lot of communities here where Blacks and Browns overlap. Munchie mentioned the 20s and the Harpies. You got the 30s over there with the ATCs. You got 18th Street goes all the way down Vermont and Hoover. So that they're going through the 40s, the 50s, all the way down to the Brims. You got Florence. The Florences overlap with the Six Deuce Brims at Harvard Park.
The Florences overlap with the 60s.
The Florences overlap with the 60s over there on 71st by that McDonald's off of Crenshaw. So we got a lot of places that the SGV does not have. None of that exists in the SGV. There is not one single Black hood overlapping with a Mexican hood in the SGV.
But the Do-Rocks and all that don't.
The Do-Rocks have a separate space than the Monrovia dudes. And how many Black hoods are in the SGV? You can count them on one hand.
You got Do-Rock, PDL, Squiggly Lanes, Altadena Block, Pasadena Raymond.
So we counting Pasadena as SGV? Because the brothers, they
don't claim the valley, but they bring blood, so they don't push a valley line.
Okay, so Pasadena, very little overlap between Black and Mexicans in Pasadena. Duarte, they got the Do-Rocks. Pomona's not at the brothers in Pomona don't claim SGV, but the Mexicans in Pomona do, because they go to LA County Jail,
right,
in Pomona.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's very little bit of examples of Black communities in the SGV. So his perspective is probably Baldwin Park and the surrounding communities.
Yeah, because y'all know, Puto up out of Watts, his whole name comes from the Black and Mexican family combined. So he got first cousins that's 100% Mexicans that I've been knowing for years and years, and we seamlessly coexist. all the time.
And when I dropped my soldier interview from PJ Watts, we got the young Mexican dude pops up on the scene in the interview, and they talk. They have a conversation about Mexicans claiming PJ Watts. You know, so
Free Big Water.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts on Lefty Gunplay before we wrap this up, Spider.
I mean, I'm not shocked to hear nobody say that, but it just remind me, like, I wouldn't want to be more loving, friendly, and accepting of an individual that was less loving and friendly and accepting of me. So if you feel that way about me and my people, I feel the same way about you and your people. Well, I really don't. But to that individual, that would be my message.
And you're like, don't even come on my podcast or any black person's podcast then, huh?
If you feel that comfortable expressing those feelings as if they're acceptable. Now, if you understand there's a sediment, a mixture of community that you think needs some repair, that we should be working to do better than, then that's another expression. But if you standing on that, like, we can share everything, but romance in this society, that's bullshit.
Munchie.
Shit, I mean, he want what he want for his kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would prefer that my daughter have a young black man, but whoever she end up with, like, just as long as she treat him well, and that's how I feel. But I think it was received wrong. I don't think he racist or none of that shit. He was conditioned to where he was raised at SGV, and then he spent most of his adulthood behind the walls where it's big politics with the racial thing. But LA, he said LA ain't quite how you say it is. Maybe East LA for sure. Hazard projects and all that, yeah, hell yeah. But you know,
they burning your apartment down in Big Hazard neighborhood. At least we have one example of that. But the way I see it for my daughter, I don't want my daughter dating anyone that has achievements and goals below her. So, for example, she just graduated from one of the greatest university on God's green earth, University of Southern California. I want her to at least partner up with somebody else who's graduated, you know. So if she comes home with a dude that's a high school dropout, I don't care if he's black, Hispanic, white, or Asian. No, he's got to go.
What if she missed Mark Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg? No, I wouldn't even want her to be with
Not his personality. Don't do that. I was just talking about the guy that didn't graduate college. Never mind.
I want her. I want her someone that's equally yoked,
right,
on her education and on her goals and achievements. And that's not hard to figure out when you're dating somebody. What you want to do, what school you want to graduate from, what kind of career you want to get into, and based on those answers, you got to make decisions. But you know, young people sometimes just date for all the wrong reasons.
Love, definitely, because they get their feelings.
You can't be in love that quick. Hey, back in the day, your parents picked your partners 150 years ago. Your parents picked them.
Less years than that.
But it's
even less than that.
It still happens in some societies.
Yeah, some societies. Like, I can go through anyone that my sons meet or anyone that my daughter meet, and I probably can pick the best person for them, but they won't go with my choice. Right. They're going to go with their own choice. And that's why we got like 50% divorce rate. Nobody gets along, this and that. But, hey, Straight Politicking episode 4. All of the socials are in the show notes below. Tap in with Spider Loke, tap in with Munchie B, and we are on Spotify, iHeart, and on Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a rating and review if you're listening to us on the Apple Podcast. Leave us a question and we'll answer it on the next episode. Leave us a DM on Instagram. And thanks for tapping in with another episode of Straight Politicking.